Alrighty. We're starting a session for the first time on a Sunday in God knows how long. Woohoo!
Yay!
All right, time to close it down.
All right, guys, I'm being called from the other room. Actually, I am gonna go grab some buns real quick. I will be back in just a second. Who
Alright.
said they were terroristic activities?
The terrorists. So anyway, gonna get started, I suppose.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Do we need a recall from what happened 2 days ago?
Yes.
Yes.
You finished a boss fight. Tetra's soul was siphoned into the hunter, leaving her mortal body being exposed that when he died, she died. Chain reaction. The Overseer tended to any and all wounds, paid you, as well as condolence pay for the loss of 2 party members, 1,000 apiece, for a grand total of 7K in your pocket, which was mutually agreed. There should be some sort of party pool amount of coin so that everyone has their own independent amount that they can spend however the fuck they would like, and then a party amount that is for like party gear, supplies, housing, whatever. You arrived back at the main starting town of which you airshipped into, and it looks like you are going to be airshipping out of to go towards the libraries within Aphelion. You guys also were introduced to a new mechanic that I am borrowing from another show that I'm watching on TV, and we'll kick it back from there. So,
What the fuck was the mechanic? I don't remember that.
travel bonding time.
Oh.
That's where I had you guys roll a charisma check without proficiencies.
Indeed.
I had a dumb thought, but I shouldn't say it. Pyro wouldn't be happy.
Don't
Because
do it.
monetization.
Don't do it.
What?
I said slowly squints.
Shits, ass, squints.
Alright. So, Victoria, being that you are semi-close, relationship-wise with Luna, you notice when you go to look over to her, more or less, she definitely seems unsteady, uncomfortable. And Nisha looks somewhat distant, and that is voluntary. It's not like he is ignoring her, it's more he's trying to give her space. Nose locked into that journal, and you, for the first time, witness literally the page being written in itself, as you can follow his gaze that he's reading it as it's writing in the next page.
That's a neat party trick. Also, I like how Luna and Victoria are apparently close after, like, canonically having, like, maybe 5 conversations total, and I guess they did do that whole, like, one spa day together, but I don't know how much Victoria was actually talking.
Well, that's part of the reason why I said somewhat close. Like, you've actually interacted and bonded with her. You've taken time to acknowledge her emotional states.
Say, if anyone, Victoria is closest with Lucas and I can.
Well, there's a difference between emotionally close and physically close. Now get his dick out of your ass.
Who said it was only it?
That's
I just imagine it's like this is an animation thing, and then just Heineken's face, like torso, like, and does the shrugs, and who said it's just the ass?
That's actually similar to what I was gonna say. That's what my intrusive thought was related to. I was gonna say Victoria just giving
Don't worry, I got
the
you.
roadhead.
Don't worry, I got you. I'll say it for you.
They can't see Victoria over.
Well, she's like fucking 4 feet tall.
Nah, Victoria is interacting with Luna and whatnot. Meanwhile, the tail
Victoria's using her long ass tail to jerk Lucas off. Infinitely funnier. Heineken and Lucas are just trying.
Comedically and perfectly timed, the horse cries right on cue. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why I say that we are a 16 plus audience recommended with leaning towards 18 plus.
Honestly, let's be real, we're 18 plus.
Predominantly 16 plus, but then there's moments like this where it's like, bro, this would have to be cut out for a 16 plus audience, but like it's predominantly 16 plus. Anyway, so you're back into town after leading Rojo. The way that you remember coming from, following what Iron Horse tracks that there is, and you followed them, going back as you've gone to and from there at least twice now. You do see, coincidentally and conveniently, an airship that is docked at the airship landing. However, it is not the airship that is Yorif's.
Damn it.
It is a different one. It is a larger one, even.
Damn it.
About 1.5 times bigger.
I can't bribe Yorith. No free rides this time, I guess. Oh shit, pumpkin grew.
Look.
So. I guess we'll probably first gonna start by searching for a place to stable Rojo.
Okay.
Sean, since we went in halvesies on buying Rojo, would you be cool with going halvesy on putting some money down for having Rojo?
You do have 7K to your disposal.
Yeah, but that's for the party set. Well, I guess Rojo was kind of a purchase for the party, but...
Well,
What does it cost to upkeep a horse?
Oh, well, you want me to find out?
Okay.
quickly, somebody check the upkeep of a horse.
You there, random person. How much does this cost?
You random citizen. Horse upkeep.
And I love you, random citizen.
Fuck you, random citizen.
Metro Man.
My death was greatly exaggerated. Now.
Holy shit, he's back from the dead.
Honestly, that would have been such a badass ending. Megamind convincing Metro Man to come back for like one last fight, then he just retires again, but this time everyone knows he's Music Man.
A music maestro.
Anyway, so there's...
That's the wrong DreamWorks film.
Still good.
Yes. I never said it. Did I say it wasn't?
I don't have a brain, gentlemen, but I do have an idea.
Seth Rogen's best role.
So, you could instinctually just go back to the stable that you got Rojo from.
We bought Rojo at that town. At the town that has been condemned to death by freezing.
Ah, yes. Okay, my bad. I thought it was here for some reason.
No, your party returned here with Tetra. We went to go buy the other... We went to go buy the...
Oh, you went ahead and arranged the mercenary grouping.
Yes.
That's right. It's been a hot minute. So, well, there are multiple stables here, and by multiple I mean 3. One of them is dedicated towards the guard, so realistically you have 2 stables to your disposal.
We're gonna steal the guard stable. We're gonna take it over.
I think I'm about to steal.
Suddenly a man named Flinton shows up.
Flint and Steel!
Why the fuck do you start sounding like Emperor Palpatine?
What?
Motherfucker over here.
Which one of us?
Not you. You.
Because Pyro wants to be an evil emperor.
So does he have to be wrinkly?
Depends. Did he get electrocuted by force lightning?
Put it on the to-do list.
Put it on the to-do list. Although technically I think if we go by the novelization of the movie, he says that that's his true face, which would imply that the dark side of the Force does eventually lead to a person decaying. Like Lichdom.
I mean, it just makes you age worse because we're gonna be.
Man. Count
Because
Dooku
you're
looked pretty
constantly.
badass.
Well, he wasn't in the dark side for as long as, say, Emperor Palpatine.
Sheev Palpatine.
So what's the plan, folks?
I have an idea. Let's get on an airship.
No, we can't
That
just
too.
leave Rojo.
Well, no, obviously.
I guess we'll go check out the 2 stables.
So,
I'm here to saddle my horse and get some loose.
so the first one that you come across is called Mains and Mares, and it is ran by a fairly large individual. You can't make out the race. It looks like a blend of orc, human, and Goliath, because their skin is too pale and more creamy white colored, and very tall, but also have the bulk of an orc. Bald, has a tattoo on his cranium that pretty much
Kratos!
makes... Huh?
So
He's got a tattoo on his cranium. The best way to describe it is think traditional, like, tribal tattoos. And he's got a couple on the side of his the right side of his neck that also connects to the back of his head up to these.
Sean, tell me Pyro didn't just describe off-brand Kratos.
No. The only part of that is the excessively pale skin.
Yeah, but Kratos is a large man who is known to be muscular, bulky, and he has facial tattoos.
Not on the back of his skull.
Well, that part might be true, however.
When making this NPC, there was zero intention of anything being remotely related to Kratos.
No, but it just happens to sound like Kratos, and I find that hilarious.
So,
And also, that's not a bad thing. Kratos is a really cool character. Taking inspiration from other stuff for your scenes isn't uncommon. Authors do it all the time.
Anyway. Mains and Mares, name of the establishment. This appears to be the stable keep. There is a boy who appears to be assisting him. More than likely an assistant, being that he looks like he's in his early to mid-20s. Definitely human, just simple, casual peasant clothes.
It's grown-up Atreus.
Oh, fuck me, goddammit.
Okay, time for it.
Alright, you know what? Moving on. Alright, I'm not even gonna bother at this point.
No, Pyro, keep going.
No, okay, what do you guys want to do? There's a man and a boy.
Just commit at this point. We've already mentally made him Kratos. Just make him.
I've come for the gods of Olympus.
I hate you. I hate you both.
It's not our fault. You accidentally made Kratos.
Actually, in my mind, this is like a biker gang member that turned into a stable keep. And you guys are like, Kratos, boy, Zeus!
Where's the place that I can go and pet animals? Zeus! I have to.
I'm clocking out. Good night.
This is on you.
Get back here, cow.
Get back here, cow. Where?
You.
Right there. Next to Zeus. Right next to boy.
You know what's funny?
Not this anymore.
No.
The creator of the series God of War actually hates the new God of War games made under Sony because he hates character growth, apparently.
Skill issue, I'd assume.
Yeah. Honestly, I think Kratos is cooler now that he's actually trying to move on.
You ever just swim in extremely toxic water?
No,
What?
but anyway, the mains and mares.
Oh, we're not putting our horse.
Could I approach the stable master?
Alright, hey. Approach him. He immediately notices the horse. Gives a soft nod.
Howdy.
I fucking hate you. Now I can't fucking. Ah!
Just make his voice Kratos, Pyro.
That's the worst part. I'm slowly realizing I might have actually accidentally made Kratos.
You don't accidentally make Kratos. You just made Kratos, buddy. There ain't no accident.
It was foretold by the gods.
So,
Fuck the gods.
I mean, he did.
That's Zeus.
No, he made his.
Boy. Welcome to my stable. I assume you are looking to either purchase or house yours.
House, we were just wondering what the cost of upkeep would be. We're gonna be away for a while and would need to leave you with.
How long is a
Relax.
while?
Looks at Luna and Nisha.
Do I look like I know how long it's going to take me to learn this stuff? I don't even know if it's going to be something I can learn in a short amount of time.
Looks at Nisha, looks at Nisha's coin purse.
Sees Nisha flip a page. And there doesn't seem to be any notation of how long it would take. However, The dates does appear to be close to a month.
Well, I guess then how long is 1 month's worth, or how much is 1 month's worth of upkeep?
What's your budget look like?
How much is 1 month?
Normally it's 5 gold a day.
That's pretty bad. Pretty rough.
Horses are not very cheap to maintain, especially when it's not yours.
True. And we do want good care of Rojo taken. That was a weird way to phrase that, but we're going with it. But
So, it's 5 silver pieces normally for a stabling.
that's in D&D, not in Pyro's world.
I know, but that's a fucking lot. I'm just saying.
Well, I also look at it as like gold is like dollars and silver is like quarters.
$5.
Honestly, in that time, that's still a lot of money, but you know, it's not as bad as what it would translate to in today's money.
You also were just casually handed 7K. Like it was a normal amount for payment.
What's 5 times 30?
150.
150. I do have a question. If we allow you to use our wagon for use of your business, because we do also need to store that.
No
Would that
need
be
for
okay?
that, but I could house it, yes. I've been looking
Well,
to
I was
house
just
your
gonna-
wagon as well. I could do 300 the entire month.
Well, I was just wondering if we allowed you use of it while we're gone, assuming any damage done to it would be repaired.
I have
With
my
that-
own, as well as a few oxen. No
Well-
need for your carriage.
I
Besides,
was more.
legally I'm not allowed.
Why?
Not my property. Can't use it for
We could-
business.
We could simply
fair
write
enough.
a personal use.
It's liability.
Fair enough. To temporarily sell you the wagon under the agreement, we just exchange the exact same amount of money when we get back.
I'm not a pawn shop, unfortunately.
No, I was meaning we sell you it for 50, we come back and buy it back for 50 in a month. Nothing
Boy.
too crazy.
Turns to the young individual. Steps forth.
These individuals are looking to sell their wagon. Are you in need of one?
Well, not necessarily. Actually, I was just thinking of a way to get around the business law.
Well, I can take it off your hands, that's for sure. He can't
Well-
because, well, he's the business owner, but I'm just an apprentice, so I could take it off your hands.
But if he buys it, would you be able to use it and then in a month?
If he buys it, then he's probably going to have to sell it back to you at an upcharge because, you know, business and ledgers and taxes and other shenanigans around that. Versus you can let me watch over it, makes the air quotes. Fortunately, the taxes in this part of town are outrageous, being that it's a complete trade hall.
I see.
Imports, exports, it's a tourist attraction for airships and airdrops. Not to mention, you know, I don't know if you noticed, but there's close to no residentials. People come in all across the damn continent trying to get stuff from here. Not to mention, you got the mines down to the south.
I see. So, We sell you for 50 in a month's time. We come
I
back.
could just watch it over for you.
Well, fair enough.
Pretty sure Mama wouldn't mind.
Alright, do feel free to use it. Just repair any damage. That's our only request.
Nah. If anything, I might store some barrels of hay on it as need be. Take care of the cattle.
That's fine. I didn't think it would be anything crazy, had you?
Mind you, this is like someone who looks like the most cookie cutter, black haired, stubble faced, like 5'10" male human with like a hillbilly thick country accent.
Should have made him brown haired. It could have been Ellis.
I don't see no damn cars around here. Well, anyway, I will tell you. Did I ever tell you about the one story my buddy Keith the other day? Two massive drakes come running down the damn. I swear, Keith's dumbass thought it'd be the brightest idea to try to ride one like it's a damn bull hog ride. Like something you'd see out of a damn country tavern. That drake whipped his ass around and sent him tumbling down the hill. 4 broken ribs and both of his ankles sprayed. I'd never seen that man's chest swell so much than he was laughing. Needless to say, he died.
Keith is canonically dead. Damn. Although I think he actually is in the actual game, isn't he?
By the way, did I tell you about that one time my buddy...
I don't know. To be quite honest, I just whipped that up out of fucking thin air. So, take it as you will.
Alright. So then... Yep, we'll
So you
give
got
the
you here, your
leg.
little horsey here. Let's see.
Rojo.
Rojo. Ain't that German for pink?
No, it's Spanish. for
Fuck's a
red.
German.
It's a type of human.
Yeah, no wonder I wouldn't know it.
Lucas, aren't you human? Or Heineken? Who's in
Looks
control?
at the fur.
Aren't you human? No,
He's
no.
possessed by a human.
Looked at tail.
Looks at ears. Looks at spots. Looks at paws.
Maybe.
Looks at Snoop.
Looks at entire body. Maybe.
Observes.
Exists.
There you have it. 5 gold a day, making it a grand total of 150. Plus income tax as far as incoming wealth. You're looking at a grand total about 172.
We get income tax on the fuck.
I have to pay a fee for any coin incoming that gets dispersed amongst the town's treasury. Everyone
well,
pays
that-
it.
I thought you were saying we're getting income taxed over that, and I was about to be.
No, it's a fee that we, as merchants, must pay per transaction. That's why a lot of individuals would prefer you to just buy in bulk or simply buy everything all at once versus you buy this now, this tomorrow, that's the next day. Because per transaction, not per amounts paid. It's lucrative. I don't understand it. I know how it works as far as me having to pay money.
That makes sense to me.
172 golden. Month stay for the horse is yours.
Alright. You guys care if we take this out of the...
Ain't that the whole idea of why it was there?
Well, I don't know whether or not since Lucas Heineken and I purchased the horse.
Honey, just take it.
Meanwhile, Nisha's just nose in book pacing.
just Victoria just reaches into the coin purse and then just puts it on the counter. Puts the money on the counter.
Very well.
Flips open his ledger, dips a hawk feather in an inkwell.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
All right, we'll spin the ledger around.
Just need you to sign here.
Put on it.
All
did
of
you-
us are just one.
Unless you have a group name or business that you would prefer to be listed under.
I don't think so. Yeah,
Whoever's
I'll sign.
responsible for the horse then.
Oh, I guess then he and I would need to sign as our horse.
There you go.
And she pointed to herself and Lucas.
Holds out to pass off the hawk feather.
Victoria will take it and sign it. She kind of just scribbles her name.
Just imagine fucking Heineken dips his paw in the inkwell and just slaps it down so it's just a paw print.
No, that's
Meaty
what Lucas
slap.
does. That sounds good every time Victoria and he get in bed. I'm pretty sure I just heard Pyro slap.
You heard me clap because I was trying to get Sheila's
Oh.
attention. Kyle.
You're gonna see the most fancy cursive ever when he gets that hawk feather.
Okay. Once it's signed, he'll place his hand on the page. A little trickle of silver, like almost like a mist, just seeps out from his fingertips and then coats
Romeo
the
Piccolone.
coats the page. Very similar to how like a very dense smoke would just lightly just graze on a surface.
I'm pretty chromed up, champ.
And then very simply just like pinches and pulls the mist and makes a copy of the paper and hands it off to you.
Damn, that's neat.
Little trick you learn from the mages in the north.
North where? Well, where in the north specifically?
There's I guess kingdom would be the correct term, as for its population and the fact it has a large moat surrounding its people. But there's an academy for arcane knowledge, specifically in well-refined notes for those in merchants and business. This is one of the few things they will teach you, is making copies of documentation needed amongst clients.
Huh. I'm kind of interested in learning that.
Well, there's a few places in which you can learn such a trick, but that is where I've received this knowledge. Many years ago, before I got within these stables, when I was merely just a notary.
You know, the more I do this voice, the more I think of the one big black guy from the Payday web series that works with Gage for those ARs, if you remember what I'm talking about.
No, I actually haven't seen the Payday web
I
series.
do, but I was gonna be honest. You're starting to kind of sound like you're leaning more towards fucking Sir Christopher Lee's Willy Wonka's father.
That's just how
not have
Sir
a.
Yeah.
Christopher Lee sounds.
Yeah,
You're starting to fucking sound like it. Like
Like, I'm 90%
No.
sure that's actually just Sir Christopher Lee's voice.
not any son of mine.
I'll take them. I'll take them all.
Cavities on us.
Lollipops. We call these cavities on a
Cavities
stick.
on a stick.
Caramels.
I mean,
They get stuck in your braces, wouldn't they?
that's the weirdest version of Willy Wonka.
Good.
Oh,
Twice the age, double the fall.
what?
Dooku.
Oh,
Twice the pride, double the fall.
Ah, I was close.
Twice the pride, double the
That'd
fall.
be kind of weird. That'd be kind of fucking weird if he just says, yes, twice the age, double the fall.
I didn't remember the fucking line. Fuck off.
I think you're also thinking about the line of, "My power has doubled since since we've last fought. 0 time." Doesn't he say 0 times nothing is still 0? No.
No, that's twice the pride, double the fall. My
Ugh.
powers have doubled since we last met. Good. Twice the pride, double the fall.
Good. Twice the pride, double the fold.
I'm waiting.
All right, so you get a copy of contract for a month housing of the horse, as well as the youngling having housing your carriage.
Kill him.
Duel of the Fates is now in my head, damn it. Yeah, but I've got like I've got one of the guitar I've got one of the guitar covers of it stuck in my head.
Good, Anakin, good. Kill him.
And now I'm
No.
suddenly reminded of something I actually shouldn't talk about on stream.
Kill him.
So, what next?
Well, now it's situated.
Now we probably either, considering we've figured out our horses are
A
Yep.
horse? What?
Our horses.
our horses.
Wait a minute.
We figured out
Our
our
horse?
whore's housing situation. We're putting Lucas in the stable as well.
Okay.
No, I was gonna say, now that we figured out our horse's housing situation, we should figure out how we're gonna get to Aphelion.
Airship was realistically the only way we're going to get there, as Billion itself is in the sky. Quite high
Wait.
up, mind you.
Wouldn't it take us like a month to get there?
Not necessarily.
Yeah, but don't airships move really slow?
Some do and some don't, from my experience. There's some that can outpace most armadas on the fair seas. Others are, well, mostly piloted by whatever wind currents there are.
Depends on the captain's.
Interesting.
And there are some that have, well, some sort of mechanics which propel them forth on top of air currents, and others are just as good as most ships, just in the air.
Less dangerous. There's a lot less pirates with airships. I would know. Alright, so now we just find an airship. See if that one's taking passengers.
Camera slowly pans and zooms in on the one in the background.
I said see if that one's taking passengers.
Alright, so approaching the airship docking, right out of the gate, you can see that there is a fair number of cargo being put onto it and also being taken off. Taking a wild, educated guess, this very much is a more or less transport. You approach. I'm gonna have you both make your perception check.
Alright, hold on, let me grab a dice set.
Hey, look at you. Look at you. I can start off right.
A 2.
It's gonna be 2. I know, I love how we both have the same idea. 2.
You both always say that. That's why you had the same idea.
How about I wish you a -1. I wish you a -1. I wish you
Joke's on you. I got an 11 total.
total. Yeah.
What'd you get, Sean?
I get a natural 25.
Holy
Right there. Just say
Alright.
natural 25.
So, both of you will see that most workers seem to be answering or taking orders or commands, or however you want to word it, from an individual, female, tiefling of some variety, judging by their red, pale-ish skin, the horns, the tail, no wings, dressed very sailor-y, if it was made of leather. Think of your cookie-cutter pirate, but more leaning towards, like, actual sailor attire. Jack Sparrow, I was about to say.
But taller.
No, Jack Sparrow would be the best way to describe her attire. As far as your natural 25 goes, you can identify very quickly Heineken / Lucas. She has a pendant on the left side of her front side, like where the breast would be, and it's reminiscent of some kind of bird skull and crossbones. If anything, you could make me another nature check to see if you could identify which bird.
That's annoying.
Yes, no?
Shaniel. Shaniel muted.
He died.
I'm lost. Mr. Stinky.
Or just went AFK. Also, should we delete the notes for Kana's world since we're not going to be using them anymore?
The thread for Anna's notes as a whole. Yeah, because that was explicitly for himself. Okay. Did you hear anything I said?
No.
What was the last thing you heard?
I heard tiefling. That's it.
So, short run of it, tiefling, female, attire similar to Captain Jack Sparrow, but definitely more of the sailor attire, less tiredly. But you notice something of a bird, skull, and crossbows on the left side of her front breast. If you want to make me a nature check to see if you can identify what bird the skull would be.
No, sure. There's my nature. It's going to be a 16.
16. Pretty confident it's a crow.
Hey, cool. Ah!
Just
No.
you said like I died.
Just start making bird noises.
It just goes full autistic.
That's a parrot! That's a macaw!
Fuck you!
I love the one bird in the background. I don't know if any of you all heard that for the fucking in the background of the ambience, but there was a fucking bird immediately after I said that.
I can hear it.
I didn't hear it.
So, yeah, you see this female tiefling. It must be someone of in charge, if not the captain.
I guess we just go up the hill.
Alright. Yeah, I mean, I assume.
She can at least direct us to where they sell tickets if we can't.
Or we can ask
There it
the
is. There's the bird. There's the bird.
Was that not a
Right there,
pig
right there.
squealing?
A coincidence? I think not.
Anyway,
I'm pretty sure that's a pig squealing.
no, that is a pig, but there is
No,
one where
there's
it's
a
like
bird.
a parrot, like. Anyway, moving on.
Don't leave me here, Michael. Michael, don't leave me here.
Michael! Don't leave me here! Michael!
Alright. Moving on.
Michael, they're playing Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas. My God!
I'd leave William Afton to that. William Afton can.
So, what are we doing?
We're approaching the. We said what we're doing. We're approaching her.
I heard dialogue, not direction. Okay. So,
We're approaching her. Fists up. No.
We want to talk with her, so obviously we're approaching.
alright, so, going forth, you walk upstairs, heading towards the landing, kind of make your way around workers taking cargo onto the ship. She'll notice everyone pretty much walking up, and kind of just
Excuse you. Last I remember, you weren't on the list.
We were wondering where we could purchase tickets.
Tickets.
for what?
Is this not a transport vessel?
For cargo, last I knew, people aren't cargo.
Depends
Well-
on who you ask.
Okay, hold on. I should hold my tongue. Free the slaves! Damn, it's good.
Wait a minute.
She kind of squints and leans forward.
Lady Nova? There ain't no way. You're dead.
Maybe. What? No.
You're gay! She said you're gay!
You said I was dead.
Oh,
That is
sorry.
clearly
Sorry.
not correct.
Victoria Nova.
You are gravely
Yeah?
mistaken.
Yes.
My death was gravely
You're dead. Matter of fact, there's more people dead than left alive of that crew. How did you?
What crew? What? The one with Yoru?
Yeah. He's still around? Haven't seen him in
Yeah.
a long while.
He just. I don't even know you. Who the fuck are you?
You don't remember? Oh, sweetheart, bless your soul.
She kind of like pinches the bridge of her nose.
Oh, please. I have no soul.
I have been thrown into a lot of doors. This
Oh,
is
please. I have no soul.
this is a well-known fact. My small stature has caused me to be thrown many a time.
I was Captain Jack's damn secretary. I kept all of his bookkeepings and his stuff. Documentation and organization for
Pyro, I don't know
legalities.
who
That's intentional.
Is your favorite?
I don't know any Captain Jacks. I know I'm looking for a Jackson. Hold on, let me quickly consult Hero Forge to get Jack's dad's last name because I didn't make it. I just generated it because I was lazy. Sorry, Hero Forge is taking a second to load. Hero Forge, the 8 folk race has been out for like a month. It's not new at this point.
Racism has been out for a month. It ain't new.
Yeah, hold on. It's not where I thought it would be.
Where's Chester?
Hold on. Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, he's risen. He has risen, baby girl. Oh,
Pyro, how would you say that last name?
Who's
come on,
gonna?
you piece of...
Who's gonna? I'm looking for Jackson Kuzganov, but I don't remember meeting any Captain Jacks.
I can not related to Jack Nova.
Yeah, but he's been dead since. Fuck.
2012.
Great grandma Nova said he just up and left in one night, and everyone assumes he just died in the storm. He's disappeared off from the Baron Scarborough.
Well, that was his secretary, legal advisor, whatever you want to address it as.
Jackson wasn't. Jack. Grandpa Jack wasn't the captain. He was Grandpa Edmund's first mate and navigator.
That was before the accident. Because I'm assuming you don't know all the details.
Edmund supposedly went into the underworld for some
Right.
unknown reason.
And that would have
Jack
made Jack captain when Edmund departed his crew to pursue that opportunity.
Well, according to the stories told from the crew when I was on the ship, of which Jack is my grandfather who would have been alive over 150 years ago now, which I'm afraid, darling, you look far too young to be his secretary.
Well, that means the magic's doing its work.
But Jack would have disappeared before Edmund went into the underworld.
That's where he disappeared to. Not the underworld, but, well, kind of pursued pirates. Became a pirate hunter. Didn't exactly agree with the way that Edmund was doing a lot of stuff. They got into it, and, well, he left. Took a lot of people with him. Kind of made the implication that he was dead. And, I don't know if you know, but, does Darkwater ring a bell to you?
No?
Well, that was his alias for a good long time. Captain
What,
Darkwater.
Jax?
He went by Captain Darkwater for a little bit.
The fuck he did? Jack never was.
I know this is a lot for you. Come on board.
And she walks, and as she walks, you hear her heels click against the wood.
Hankin, you wouldn't happen to speak Orcish, would you? Hankin?
Just watch his eyes slowly separate like the fucking lizard.
Victoria smacks him a couple of times across the face with her tail. Nuna, you speak Orcish?
Luna? I very highly doubt it. Hold on, let me look.
Nisha?
Anisha for sure doesn't. He has
Sure
no
doesn't.
reason. I'm positive he doesn't. Luna speaks Common, Elvish, and Celestial. I believe Nisha is some Common, Draconic, and Abyss.
Languages Victoria does not
Common,
speak.
Draconic, and Elvish. Close enough. Oh yeah, because Luna taught him Elvish.
And then Sean just dipped. So I guess we sit here for a minute.
No?
Texting Sean to make sure everything's all right.
All right, there we go. All right, now can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
I said, no.
Okay. Hmm.
She's trying to lead you on board, though.
Yeah. Hankin,
Mm-hmm.
Lucas, you two think we can trust her?
She definitely seems interested in you.
Yeah, but that's what makes me unnerved. Here's the thing. I don't have a Grandpa Jack. I got
She referred to him as your father.
my dad's son. He ain't my dad. The person who supplied the materials for my being able to be born is some deadbeat, no good, low life, half devil son of a bitch who belongs to be thrown into the 9 abyssals of the hells, or into the layers of the abyss. Deepest one they can throw him into, where shit becomes unstable. After that, I don't give a fuck about it. But his name's not Jack. It's Jade.
It could be possible she might be mistaking you. After all, if she is a part of this crew, she is apparently hunting, or with, or whatever she said it was. Might
First
be some
up,
connection.
the Baron Skyborough was the ship of a rival crew ran by Captain Eustace Deepwater. They fucking sank it. The second, Edmund is the captain of Jackson Kuzaganoff's ship. The person who called himself Jack Nova. The fact that she knew me as Nova, that concerns me most. Well, actually, no, it doesn't. That's the alias I've been running around with for a long time. But Jack is not my relation. He's the relation of the person who's the reason why I'm alive, and I'm hunting his soul. Well, I'm hunting him because he's wanted for whatever reason, and I do that. I fully get my life and body back. But
Well, she seems to know you
more
one
I
way,
s-
shape, or another. She believes
Yeah,
that this Jack individual is your father. Potentially due to the same last name.
well, I've always billed him as my grandfather for the purposes of him being half devil can elongate his life, unlike the blood being more mixed in with a tiefling like me. He's got more of the infernal magic in him. But that's not actually true. I am a relation of the Grimbards, but not him. Distant cousins, same creepy ass ancestor, the guy everyone just calls the
Would you still
Alchemist.
consider yourself a pirate?
To a degree. That's what I we came to find him, but
Sleep with one eye open if we take this.
I'll be sleeping in a pocket dimension that theoretically could be reopened back up into the ship.
She apparently is the secretary, legal advisor for pirate hunters.
She was a secretary and legal advisor to nobody. No how. His father, who tracked down information. Well,
According to the story she's providing, as far as we know, she might have facts mixed up to give her the benefit of the doubt. She might be
That is-
confusing individuals' names and certain things. She swears
I
she
mean-
knows your father, but at the same time she is referring to someone who you refer to as your grandfather. I can see the correlation and a misunderstanding there, but there must be something that we just... You are right in some demeanor that something is not adding up.
but if you'd allow me to explain a little further. The part that concerns me is the guy who's calling himself the father of the guy I'm hunting, right? The devil who I met via proxy via one of his other minions looking for his son. He gave me all the first-hand information he's collected from over time. He's actually old enough to have lived 150 years ago, given, you know, how devils spend a lot of their time in the nine hells, and time works a little differently there, and they age a lot slower than a lot of mortal races, even slower than elves. He is the one who went and gathered everything to figure out his son disappeared from Captain Edmund's ship. After that, there's a few sightings of him down in the underworld somewhere, but he kind of disappears. It's known he may have been in the presence of a Grimbard for a little bit, but that's really it. What the hell's a Grimbard doing in the underworld? Probably during that war. My thought is if I end up in the underworld, I'm gonna walk into the ruins of some old town and find a skeleton. What happens then, I don't know. But I'm really just trying to pin down the location wherever he or his corpse is in the underworld, so I can go either bring his corpse back so his daddy can bury it, or take his daddy to him so they can slug it out or whatever, and I can move on and get back to my life.
You must know something we don't, then.
Well, I know that I drowned after old rickety bridge collapsed, and a couple weeks later, about 4 or 5 miles downriver, some random ass lesser devil found me dead. Now this sounds weird, but yeah, that's how he found me. I was a fucking ghost for a little bit. Found me dead crying next to my body. Cause, you know, a fucking great way to start your 18th birthday, right? But
Agreed.
moving on. He made a deal with me and gave me the information I know. As far as I know, it's accurate as possible because it was taken from the time. Literally from that iteration of Captain Edmund's crew of the Starward Bound is the actual name of his ship. The Baron Scarborough was the ship Edmund's captain, and before Edmund became his own captain, And before Edmund and Jack blew that bastard out of the water, according to some records I found on shores and some stories I've heard from a lot of pirates, the consensus seems to be Edmund was actually Jack's father. Eustace Darkwater, someone who Edmund sometimes gets confused for because they were similar people. Both had a motif for stealing from those with more money, giving it to those who needed help, but Eustace,
Who was this Darkwater individual she's referring to?
Eustace is Darkwater, or Deepwater, whatever his name is. But
She never said anything about
basically,
Eustace, but just said Captain Darkwater.
that's his name, Captain Eustace Darkwater. He used to be some great Navy admiral till he got fed up one day and then, well, started this whole, oh, what's that guy's name? Famous human legend, Robin the Hood, something like that. That pirate persona, touching kids in the background. They tried to get him to stop, gave his innocent crew, the chance to join theirs or overthrow him. When they didn't, Edmund Quasar and Jack Nova decided to have all cannons open fire and blow his ass out of the water. Sunk him right then and there. A few months later, supposedly a storm happens and Jack accidentally gets banished to the underworld. But her ass is too young to be Jack's secretary. The only kinds of magics I know that can elongate life like that tend to cause the body to decay.
Could it just be a matter of magic pertaining to just keeping her visibly youthful?
It could be, but did you see the way she moved for 150? For a woman over 150 years old? Plus, there's no reports of Jack ever leaving his crew. Edmund was quite literally the man who raised him. That's why Edmund took the chance to go into the underworld. He was looking for the boy he considered his son. Edmund actually also used to be a military captain, but one day his ship got destroyed in a storm, sinking his cargo. He and his crew were rescued by pirates, and they ended up, his original crew, his crew for that ship, they went down. He managed to survive. They pulled him out of the water. He became part of the Scarborough until he made the Starwood Bound and its crew.
Meanwhile, this entire time while you're doing like this monologue, the lady is just literally laying on her side, head propped up in her palm, like the most casual, like sitting on the side of the edge of the ship, just watching and waiting, her tail flicking like a cat.
But Edmund will be the man Jack actually considers to be his father. This guy who claims to be his actual father, I don't know that that's true. I don't really care what happens to Jack after I introduce the two of them. I want my fucking soul back. And that's where the story ends, really. Well, that's
Are
the quick
you
and the
done
short
with
of
your
it.
yappings?
No, not
What
yet.
the fuck? I thought you actually walked into the ship. I guess we'll follow then.
She gets up from laying on her side on the side of the ship, kicks herself back up on her feet.
Alright, come this way now.
I like how we saw her round the corner pretty much, and we just started talking very loudly.
Look how loud I have to be!
Pretty much. I thought Pyro actually described her going into the ship, otherwise I would have. You son of a bitch. That
So-
was meant to be a private conversation.
So, as everyone enters in, she pretty much leads you into some kind of captain's quarters. Sits down in a chair, picks her feet up.
Y'all want something to drink?
Water.
Yeah, got none of that around.
Well, no fucking.
You don't keep barrels of water on the ship?
Most people don't drink it, otherwise I would.
They don't drink something extremely necessary for life.
They drink ale. Predominantly. If not, usually it's some fruit juice they keep around. Really sweet. A little too sweet for my taste.
You mean rum?
No, it's fruit juice. It's brightly colored. It's like a
Fruit
yellowish
juice ain't
orange.
supposed to be brightly colored. How many mandarin oranges are you squeezing?
I
Or
wouldn't call them
citrus.
oranges, but it might be something citrusy. But whatever it is,
No, a citron. It's a type of plant. It's a type of citrus fruit.
either
Same
way,
with
they
mandarin
keep
orange.
a decent amount of this stuff that they use to mix in with the ale. I don't know where they get it. Well, the first time I tried it, far too sweet for my taste. Anyway, that's your old man.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't gonna be simple to say, but he's alive. A lot of people have been saying he's dead. A lot of people have been saying a lot of that crew's been dead.
Well, I would imagine a lot of humans from 150 years ago wouldn't be alive. That was the main composition of the crew.
Well, regardless, there's a lot that are still alive, but there's a lot that are still really dead. I can probably count on one hand the amount of people that's still alive. Obviously, you don't know Yolrith, but
Yorf wasn't part of the. Oh, you mean the crew I was part of? Yes.
yes, that's what I'm referring to. That whole crew that you was parts of. Well, whether still be or departed, but most B is dead. If not getting up there. Yolrith is getting up there. He's he's close to retiring. And then we got Maggie. I don't know what she's doing nowadays. I don't really care for
And
her
then
anyway.
Pagan Megan got decapitated for treason. So that's what I thought Yorf told me.
It wouldn't surprise me. She was right the rouser.
She flew an airship into the Kingdom's Head Castle is what she told me. Or to the Royal Palace. Is what Yorf told me.
The fact she knew how to turn it on is actually impressive. Well, you got Maggie, who knows still around, and then you got myself, Lily, and then you got what was the old man's name? The old perv.
Was that Herbert?
No, it wasn't Herbert. Herbert was that old man who always tried to sneak on. Anyway, he's long gone.
Was Herbert the old guy I threw off the edge of the ship one night for trying to fuel up my ass?
Wouldn't surprise me if that was him. He'd be doing that to any goddamn brody, male or female. But either way, That old perv, he died a little bit ago. I just got news in the middle of my trip here.
I don't remember an old perv.
Well, if you don't, consider yourself
Oh shit, was
blessed.
that Josh?
Maybe. No, his name was John, but it could be Josh. Too many J names
No,
nowadays.
we had like 8 guys with the name Jay.
Well, either way, I can count on one hand who's all left. But there's just one thing. Y'all ship. And I do say
What?
y'all as in you have ownership of it. As far as I'm aware, it's impounded. To put it simply.
I don't ever remember buying a ship. Yorif told me that too. I don't remember being anything really more than just one of the grunts of the crew.
You were high enough on the ladder that you would fall into your hands.
I don't remember this, and I don't think Megan's thrown me into enough doors hard enough. As far as I can recall, she only ever threw me into one.
Well,
And that was on Yorif's airship.
See as she opens up a drawer, slaps down a piece of paper. It's definitely not a you got it through, like, okay, this person died, so it goes to you. No, it was signed off to you.
Pyro, I have a question.
I have an answer.
At the
Front of
start
it.
of this campaign, you asked me if I would like a magical item for a feather that would detect fake signatures.
Correct.
Was I given that item at any point? Because it
Yes,
never
it
appeared in
should
my
it should be in your inventory.
Okay. I would like to pull out my signature detecting quill.
I'd like to whip it out.
I'd like to whip out my tail.
I'd like to smack Sean. Can I roll for damage in real life?
What are you gonna do? Shock me to death?
So
No, I'm gonna have Pyro suck you to death. I'm just gonna slap you.
Oh,
So, as you take out your quill, pretending that you're instinctively getting ready to sign something, the thing that was signed off on, the name is listed as Captain Darkwater, but it's a gray area because it's not his signature, but your quill cannot pick up whose signature it is, like it normally would in most cases. Definitely a forge, but magically forged. But the documentation is legit. So technically speaking, the ship is yours, but it's not signed by who is claiming signed it.
In case anyone asks, you did not get that from me.
What the fuck? Can I put it over my own name? I assume my name's on the document signed somewhere.
No, actually, your name is not signed. There, in fact, there is a blank space to where you would sign.
I don't know a Captain Darkwater. But, Lily, how old do you think I am?
If I had to guess, you're probably up there in your 60s.
Lily, I'm 22.
What?
I'm only 4 years old.
Lily,
But this all happened like 40 years ago.
the fuck it did.
How long you been dead?
Lily, I died on my 18th birthday, long before I became a pirate. I became a pirate 4 years ago. I got resurrected literally 2 weeks later after some devil managed to fish out my corpse from an icy river underneath a bridge. Grug, the savior, is still only 33.
You say still like he's still alive.
The fuck you mean like he's still alive? My cousin,
A lot of the Grimbards are dead. They didn't survive the blizzard. A lot of them, at least.
Pyro, is there anyone else in the room
The whole party.
aside from the whole party?
No.
Nisha, Luna, don't do anything that's gonna get one of these pointed. You, Victoria reaches between her tits, pulls out both her pistols. All right, Lily, you're talking like I was a pirate before I was 18. I was a pirate for 4 years. I'm 22. I have only been resurrected once in my life. Because if I died, I would not have gotten a second chance, because I sold my soul to get my second chance so that I can talk. My body was not skeletal. My body was not fucked up enough to have been damaged for 40 years. You're either confusing me for someone, or you're lying.
Well, you're not
Nah.
exactly sure just how much time has passed since you died, because a lot of things can happen between resurrection and dying.
Lily, I was a ghost on the riverbank by my soul or by my corpse. 14 days or 7 days and 7 nights. Well, 14 days and 14 nights passed from the time when the bridge collapsed and I initially drowned to the time when I was found and resurrected.
She stands up and walks over to the bookcase behind her.
Remind me of the bridge?
Because she's like trying to thumb through books.
It's some old Grimbard bridge on their land. You're not gonna find it. It's
Pulls out a book of Grimbard history, because it's a pretty thick book. Almost like dictionary thick. She sets
how
it
the
down.
fuck you get that? How the fuck you get that?
There's a lot of ways that pirates seem to misplace things unless pirate hunters acquire them.
One, no one outside the family should have one of those. And I don't
agree,
mean
that's why I
extended.
have it.
I don't mean extended family like myself. I mean blood family. Only an orc from that family who shares blood with Grug the Noble or his 5 siblings could have one of those.
Well, it appears that we understand exactly how this thing got into the hands of a pirate then. Stolen.
Yeah, from the family that is its own army. Stealing anything from there, I'd be more impressed than if someone killed a god in front of me.
Well, then I guess one of their family members turned. Or became one. I don't know. All I know is that when I was on a recovery job, this was on. Do I look like I know much of how I got it aside from picking it up out of the wreckage?
Okay, Lil. Jack would be my grandpa's granddad's dad.
Here we are. Right? The Great Orc Bridge. Spanning 37 feet long, 14 feet wide, made of cobble, brick, clay, and other various adhesive materials, collapsing with
Casualty rates 27 between merchants, individuals, and civilians. 44 years ago. Turns the book and pushes it in front of you.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's not the bridge I died on. I died on some old wooden piece of shit that was built by the alchemist. I was the only person on it. I was the only one who died. I was going for... Do you know what happens to any member of the family of the alchemist on their 18th birthday who happens to live near those lands?
I didn't realize you were even blood. I thought you were dumped.
No. The alchemist... Okay, so the Grimbards and I are cousins. The alchemist has a kid that's not Grug the Noble's mom. That, who I'm descended from, is some other kid of that old-ass lich, who's Jack's umpteen times however many ancestors. Pretty sure it's only like 3 or 4, but Jack is the alchemist, like, great-great-grandson. I'm not that much further removed from him. It's only like 5 or 6 more greats in front of my name.
Well, that aside, you said you recognized this book, yes?
Let me look through it. Pyro, can I look through it to determine if this is real or farce? Because, as far as Victoria is aware, that bridge never existed, because she's talking about a bridge on one of the two routes there was to the alchemist's actual physical mansion where family members go.
So looking at the bridge that she had pulled up, it definitely is a completely different bridge. She might have just misunderstood, because it is, yes, a bridge that had collapsed and killed several individuals due to the collapse. It is one of the main merchant routes, not alchemist routes. But when flipping through and looking through other entries of the book, it definitely is fairly accurate to culture notes and architectural notes, architectural habits, traits, specialties.
Which is really fucking strange to my character, because the Grimbard branch of the family guards the secrecy of their town. Like, the main town isn't on any map anyone could find, because
At least she remembers, but there's a lot of people that do refer to the Grimbards as the Great Orcs that you've noted in towns.
The Great Orcs is like the region, but even the Great Orcs are, to outsiders, to people who aren't from that region, considered myth. To the 5 smaller towns around their hometown, the town that they built, and where the majority of the family lives alongside the other town folks there that they've taken in.
Go ahead and make me an insight check as you flip through this book some more.
The extended family of the people they married, and like friends, family, people they met and saved along the way somewhere, where from the family members are heroes.
Go ahead and make me an insight check.
9 plus what's my insight?
Insight.
Why do I have 5 humanoid teeth? I have 5 disembodied teeth in my inventory.
Close enough. Welcome back, Greg.
I believe you had taken those originally as proof of killing something originally. I don't remember the exact details.
Yeah, close enough. Welcome back, Greg.
I love that is a 12 total. I have a +3 for insight.
So the book is predominantly just in like how any history book would overview cultural, architectural, just pretty much like an overlay look into how the Grimbard area would be built, ran, traditions, shit like that. And this particular book was published 60 years ago, give or take.
Do I note the year on this book?
That's what I was saying. It's about 60 years ago, from present date.
Lil? Lily?
Lily. Lili.
Grug. Yep. Grug, the Savior, or Greg the Savior, because there is no Grug the Savior, let's get that clear right now, is Greg's Greg the Destroyer's great-great-grandson. How long ago was Greg the Destroyer born? Let me ask you that. Or how many years ago was it when he disappeared?
And the Armada went into that underworld when they tried to do that whole one last push thing, which was upwards of 150-ish years ago.
Okay, it almost exactly 150 years ago. I think we're pushing like 152.
Give or take.
Grug the Savior was born 119 years after that, roughly. He was named by his grandmother, Greg's granddaughter, after the man she never got to meet, but the man who was so important to why Grug the... What the fuck was his title? Grug Grimbard the Sixth, with his stupid honorific title and the fact that there's so many names and there's like
The third
18
junior.
Grugs. And there's like 18 Grugs because there's like, it's literally the John of the Orc names.
Rhymes with Grug.
I'm trying my best to hold it back. I started it. I was like,
Isn't
no,
his name
no,
Grug?
no.
No, his name
the
is Grug.
Groods?
His name is Grug.
Is it actually?
Yes.
It rhymes with Grug.
That's hilarious. Hold on, my family
Release the
member's
baby.
knocking on the door.
Release the Grug. It rhymes with Grug.
I'm back.
Are you?
Yes. Grug was born 33 years ago. I think the Grug you are thinking of is either Grug. You're thinking of a different Grug. Do you know how many Grugs there are in Orcish families? It's like the amount of fucking Johns there are in a normal family. A family that speaks common.
She sighs and kicks her feet back up on the desk, and crossing her ankles on top of each other.
I'm fairly confident you're confused on how long you've been dead. Or something's tweaking facts amongst your timeline.
Lilith, I was born
As most were.
100. What is the guns Victoria has trained on Lily slowly moves up to just be pointed under Lucas's nose?
You know,
I
like,
was born 22 years ago. What the fuck did Sean say?
Didn't say anything, just snickered, and it immediately clicked what he said before back in my head.
Sean, what did you say? Because I heard you say something.
He just snickered. That's all that happened. He snickered.
Rhymes with Grug.
Oh my god.
You were born.
Hold on, I have to do some quick math.
Oh,
Would that
okay.
be 128 years since my character is 22? After, if it's been, or well, I guess if we're saying it's been
128,
roughly well, no, we're saying it's 150. It's roughly 152. I was born about 130 years after Lily. I know when my birthday is. Pyro, what's the current year?
That is in the player notes. That is...
5 bajillion years ago.
current year, 981.
I was born.
AG. 981 AG.
Sean, shut the fuck up.
I didn't even say anything yet. Fuck you.
I could hear you. You were thinking about it. I could hear the gears turning in your head.
You can smell the gears turning in my head.
Lily, I was born 19951. Or what? I was born 19959.
Either way,
What's that mean?
What?
paperwork clearly states ship is yours. People are after you. People are after the family. And more or less, Grimdards aren't exactly safe no more. People actively know who they are. They refer to them as the Grey Orcs. People actually interact and trade with them. Times have changed. Matter of fact, that bridge right there, that's why it collapsed. It got used more than it was built for. They assumed it would be used just for casual travel, not for commercial.
Aggressively slams hand into board. That bird right there.
That's not even a bridge. It wasn't a bridge on any map.
Are you stupid?
I'm talking about
It
the
was
one
some
I'm pointing to right here.
Refers to
Yeah, the one that collapsed like 40 years before I was born.
Well, if this all you saying is true, and what I'm thinking is what I'm thinking to be true, you got yourself an imposter. Someone is being you.
And then pasta.
Well, that is quite strange, because who would... That is a strange person of choice to imitate. But I did actually... actually worked with Yorith on a ship.
Well, you might have worked with Yorith on a ship, but if you're just a grunt, why does he remember and talk about you being pretty high up on the ladder?
You know how many short stacked female tieflings there are? You're sure you're not just confusing me for someone else?
It wouldn't be me confusing, it'd be him confusing. Because he's the
Well,
one
are
that
you
talks
sure?
about you still being around.
Are you sure he didn't confuse myself and some other short, infernal girl he knows?
Unless you both share the same name. And that's the only thing I can
Not
come up with is
likely.
someone is also named Victoria Nova.
Well, have you ever considered that somebody's also got the name Nova or Victoria? And given that Yorif would be, or Yorif is an older man, he's not confusing two people with similar names into one person?
The only thing I can say to that is you've got some unique homes, Garlic.
Yeah, I do.
I don't know
But
nobody who's got the same pair with them stripes. Or with stripes at all, for that matter.
everyone in my family?
I haven't met everybody in your family. I ain't been invited to
Well,
supper.
it could be someone from the same infernal lineage as myself. I assume, given that everyone has it, it's a prominent trait.
Well, that might explain just where the book came from then. If someone's pretending to be you, and is very much using your name, and looks similar to you enough to where them holes in your skin, and they clearly
Girl,
have access to this book. Because I'll be honest, there's a lot more than just that book in that wreckage. A lot of it which I
everyone
returned.
else.
Pretty decent.
Everyone else in my family, my most direct family, does not have skin like me.
You're the only one with
They
red?
all look. Yeah, but that's because I was resurrected and my body was transmogrified by the infernal who resurrected it to make me look more infernal. Most of my family looks more towards the human side. 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 Side of the tiefling spectrum.
This is
We
all fucking confusing.
Alright, so my mom looks like almost like a normal human, but she has horns. My brother, he has a tail. My grandpa has both a tail and a horn. He's one of the few else like me that does. My uncle just has horns. My grandpa's dad just has horns. And well, his dad would be Jack's son, or well, the son of, would be the Jack whom you're confusing, because Jack is also not Deepwater. Deepwater was Eustace.
But Darkwater?
Yeah, Darkwater, he was the pirate that rivaled Captain Edmund. Jack's dad. The man Jack calls his dad. The pirate who famously left pirating to go into the underworld.
Well, first I was convinced you were a lot deader than you were. But now I'm pretty confident that someone's pretending to be you.
And that is strange, because how well known could I be in 4 years that someone decides to steal my identity and pretend I'm much older?
Someone else a part of your crew? Someone who gets a vendetta against you?
I don't know any other who would have my horns or skin color.
No, but polymorph is a thing.
True, but there are several features that would make it quite easy to prove. For one, Victoria puts her foot up on the table, now having put her guns away, not believing her to be a threat, but just someone vastly confused. Victoria she rolls up her leg to reveal that how she has on her upper body red skin with some blue splotches that look more like freckles. She has on her lower body blue skin with red splotches that look more like freckles. Now, did she have this? Because that is a trait of my family. The inverted and bilaterally, bihorizontally, the split color scheme of our skin that inverts on the upper and lower body, respectively, of one another.
Hard to say, because it's been a minute since I've seen what I thought was you. Because again, I thought you were dead. Because last I knew, you died in a crossfire. Of,
No.
well, another airship getting raided. Because you were being transported to a prison.
I have been caught one time, and it's how I met these chuckle fucks.
The
And
chuckle and sparkle.
That's because we happened to be the last ones shown. I fell off a Yo Riff's airship a while ago in the middle of a firefight, but I fell into water because we were only like 30 feet up.
No, this would have been... How long did you say that happened?
I don't know, like maybe a year ago, Yo Riff fucking left me, so I just swam back to shore and hooked up with another crew.
A year ago? What the
Yeah.
fuck? He didn't tell me about this. This, okay. Alright. Now, alright. Now it, Because what I'm talking about happened 3 years ago. That means his ass been lying to me.
3 years ago, I would have still been pretty much a brand new pirate. I wouldn't have had my guns, and I wouldn't have had this. She pulls back to reveal her chain lip. I'd have just had my fucking rapier. And one, Yorfall always helped me make load cannons. Because I can move the cannonballs pretty fast, actually.
She kind of
Also
sits up
'cause I
and
just
she
throw
starts
'em into
resting
other
her
people's hands.
hands in her head in her hands, her thumbs on her temples.
Either his ass is lying, or he's in on this shit.
Well, how's about we track you down, and I assume you have some cannons?
She kind of looks at you, kind of dumbfounded, and kind of like blank stares.
On a cargo transporter.
Defensive, of course.
Blink, blink.
You came on here. Did you see any?
The
I
answer's
don't
no.
know whether
The
or
answer is
not
no.
you have the hatches battened down.
The answer's
This
no.
is the first time I've ever seen this vessel.
The answer's no. What defense measures do we have? Personnel. And a lot of kick-ass.
Well, I assume this thing is faster than Yo Riff's. You know where on a ship there ain't no cannons, Lily?
Right now, my whole ship.
Well, you know on any ship with cannons where there ain't no cannons?
The back.
And the front. So there's two thoughts. Ram his bow, or sneak up behind his back and a couple of us jump off and take over the wheel right quick, because they won't be able to turn around the cannons due to their stationary nature on airships.
So are we just abandoning the whole plan of getting me what I need to get?
You can see that Luna is very much overwhelmed.
Side trip, because either someone is pretending to be me, someone I know is confusing me with someone else, which does not seem quite likely, or something has gone very wrong and I was dead for a lot longer than I thought I was, which if that's the case, I'm about to go throw myself off a bridge, because that means most likely one of my partners, both of whom I cared for very deeply, is dead, and the other one likely wouldn't want to get things back on if I managed to get myself resurrected. So, this is something important, and two, we probably need to go give the guy taking care of our horse some more money before we depart.
Why don't we just deal with this when we get back? Ain't he coming back here normally anyway? Doesn't he come here? I mean, the lady ain't that wrong, but at the same time, the man's hard to track.
I would like to point that out. That yes, that is correct, he will be coming back here, but two, do you want someone with projectiles that move fairly fast and already had a short temper having her temper even shorter, because now the thoughts of what the fuck is going on with her life and how long have I been dead for are flashing through her mind, and now she's worried that the things she was supposed to get are not gonna happen from the contract. Actually, no, I'd still fucking kill myself even if I did go to an infernal court and win my soul back, because there ain't no point because the people I cared about are gone. So, would you rather have someone who doesn't want to be alive, or waste what you would consider to be some time and have someone who wants to be alive? The choice is yours.
Luna leaves very mentally and emotionally overwhelmed. Gets up, opens the door, closes it. You can hear her walking off at a fairly quick pace.
To be fair, if I must say that hearing all this from a third-party perspective, not only is there a lot of confusion going on, but there's also very different conflicting events. She's saying things that would have happened that you were already gone, but yet things are happening while you were alive that would have made you dead, but if you're already dead and you can't do the things, and, well, you're as... How long have you been in this, Miss Lily? This legal advisory business that you say? Since you clearly believed for a while you were part of their father. Give or take about 60-ish years. They'll give 65, 70, 65, something like that. And that would make her roughly about that age as well. You are hard-struck with believing that she has possibly been dead longer than she has. When was the last time you interacted physically with, give or take, as you called her, Lady Nova? By the way, let's backpedal it. Why did you call her Lady Nova? She's of no nobility. Oh, she...
Actually, I am.
Are you really?
We had, my family is lords of, we're literally discussing the land hoarding. My extended family is lords.
Well, that would make
And
you a lord or a lady by pertinence, but that's beside the point.
No, the man who owns their land, right? The asshole who gets called the alchemist by most people because he was obsessed with figuring out how to use alchemy to reconstruct his wife's body, which was destroyed, so he can resurrect her and then break his immortality and then fucking die. after living life with her. We're not getting into all those details of that obsessive motherfucker, but he owns the land. I am more directly related to him at this current point in time than any actual Grimbot is, because when it was the last, or when the one who went into the underworld, Greg the Destroyer, he was 25 generations removed from the grandson of the alchemist. I am something closer to 10 generations removed.
Either way, before we get into more convoluted necessities and technicalities, even if you are nobility, however it may be technicality listed, she called you that as if disregarding all of that. Why is that? Well, she was high up there in the brain, but yet she claimed she was near more than a grunt, working under Yodrith's crew.
You know, I found it was strange.
Wait a minute. You were part of Yodrith, but he was part of... And you were part... Oh, he's definitely in on this.
Yeah, because Yorif was talking to me like I owned a ship. I never bought a ship.
No,
I
but
walked to the
supposedly
dock
you
one
were
day.
gifted one. As you can see by the paperwork.
Yeah, and Yorif told me I purchased a ship and started a crew. Anyone before Jack would be fully human, I think. Because Jack's mom was a human, which means her mom was a human, and her dad was a human. And we can assume, because, well, I guess there's some elf in there somewhere, because that's what the alchemist is, but we're not getting into that. But Jack also never had a secretary.
Either someone's pretending to be you, or there's a whole group pretending to be your family. Which
How
honestly,
they'd be
I'd be more inclined to say someone's pretending to be you, because you're nobody in making a name, versus someone with a name being tainted.
But I also think you're confusing a different Jack with the Jack that I know. As far as I'm aware, Jack Nova never had no secretary, nor was there a secretary on the... Do you mean you were the bookkeeper of the Starwood Bound?
Wasn't a Starwood bound. So that clears that up then.
The Scarborough, which was Husis's ship, who was the kid-touching pirate, or the kid-touching rival of Edmund and Jack ship, was the Scarborough. They sent that thing... Pyro, do you have a specific variation of Davy Jones, or are we just going with Davy Jones?
In terms of what?
Like an equivalent in your world, is there a pirate character that everyone would call Davy? Like how actual pirates in our world and sailors in the English-speaking world would talk about, like Davy Jones. Is there like a
Like a king of pirates kind of thing?
No, that's not what Davy Jones was. He was the Grim Reaper of pirates, so to speak. The keeper of the watery grave.
Okay, so as far as like a quote Grim Reaper of pirates, we could call him Davy Jones because I didn't really get that far into the world building aspect, but we could just for placeholder call it Davy Jones.
Okay, so just because we don't have an actual term, and if
right, yeah, because
Sean, do you have anything off the spot? You're kind of good at that. Was that a no?
Yes, I was a no.
Okay, that was a no
How,
from
how,
the other
how,
side
as-
of your
how
room.
astute.
Well, you said it from like all the way across your room.
I mean, I didn't, but if it sounded like that, it sounded like that.
It did.
So he's
Oh.
saying you bought a ship. Paperwork says you inherited a ship or gifted a ship or someone signed off a ship to you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because Jack has been banished into the underworld long enough. But the real question, were you the bookkeeper on the Starwood bound?
I was so long ago. I was the bookkeeper of a ship referred to as the Misty Lake.
Okay. Jack would not have been around to be on the Misty Lake. So it sounds like after he disappeared, someone pretended to be him.
Or carried his name and took his name for their own.
That is entirely possible. You know how we pirates are. Dread Roberts and all. So, your Jack and my Jack are not the same Jack.
I'm slowly coming to
Assuming-
realizing all that.
Somehow, someone who is When did your Jack die?
About,
Or is he dead?
like he died in an accident about 25, 30 plus years ago.
Which puts him too young to know of my existence.
Slowly
My
coming to
given
my
name-
understanding.
Because my given name ain't even Victoria.
Then that for sure concludes it. Because if it ain't your given name, well, if it ain't your birth name, then it ain't you.
Well, yes and no. Well, yeah. Well, yes, it's me, but the person we're talking about who's acting like me ain't me. And someone's had to use modified memory to convince you at least a little bit that that was me and I'm that old. Because ain't no way is someone that good at gaslighting.
Seems to be. Because now I don't know what to think no more.
Because I doubt anyone looked. I doubt there's anyone who looked exactly like me who would have been running around for the last 60 years with the same name, who wouldn't have come to have some kind of showdown to either keep the name or some stupid. But now it's making a lot more sense why people who went part of Yower's crew are seeming to know me. Because I ain't looked like this until about 4 years ago, and all the people who would have known me as the kid from the noble family I was part of wouldn't recognize me like this.
I'll
They
say it was a
probably
little
wouldn't
bit
even
of a
know my
weird.
name. What?
I said it will be a weirdie.
You said yo riff would be a weirdie?
It will be a weirdie.
Yep.
Meaning that situation is going to be a weird one to address.
Alright. We've got less problems now, Nisha, and we can put this off to some degree. But if we see Yorif, I am charging that man.
Let's hope we don't find him in Phillian because last I knew we're supposed to be taking a vacation.
Technically, y'all are taking a vacation. I'm still trying to figure out what the hell happened to Jack, but I guess really, because I've tracked it down to he's gone to the underworld, I have to figure out how the hell I get to the underworld.
Well, I can tell you one thing for certain. We will. Because if the rituals of which state will cleanse these wells that Mr. Grim Reaper has tainted, once we cleanse these 4, we have to go there to pull the plug, essentially, so it doesn't reseep back through realms. Or,
Wouldn't we be putting the plug in so it doesn't seep back in
No,
and keeps
because-
the water in our wells?
no, because the well is being siphoned into the underworld, so you pull the plug so that it drains back to where it needs to be.
We're gonna pretend that makes sense for that analogy, but okay.
Absolutely.
So,
You want
We
the
are
underworld? We're
gonna-
for sure going to be there eventually.
alright. When we get there, I am gonna need to start working more on tracking down the guy I'm supposed to be tracking down.
Don't go
Victoria
too
is
far, I'll
at
say.
this point just sitting there rubbing her temples. Just very confused. And do apologize to your girl for me. I was not trying to be so disruptive, but that was a lot to take in all at once. And have to consider the possibility of. I'm glad we figured things out via talking and less
Heineken, you're one of
wasting
the
our
arcane
time.
arts, aren't you?
Maybe. Who's asking?
Someone who's curious to see if you can see if she's been subject to alteration magics.
Are you talking about me or Lily?
Lily. 'Cause the more you talk
Okay.
about that modified memory spell, I'm not familiar with it, but if it works exactly the way that the name would imply, it's essentially a lot of things could happen, and then before they depart, they change certain things and then leave, and they believe what was modified, which would make sense.
I
That
mean, I could possibly try.
my understanding is it's a hard spell to detect. It's one of those magics that once you done, it's permanent. I know it seems like being a pirate and all, I shouldn't know much, but considering, you know, I was from a noble family and I spent much time in the alchemist library reading, because, well, before about 4 years ago, I was a member from a family of well-known magicians with no damn magic.
But doesn't any and all
What?
spells leave behind a trail?
Mm,
Like a
to
residue?
some degree, but it's my understanding that is magic in all things, which to some degree might muddy it depending on how long ago these spells were cast. Because it's my understanding to some degree magic is partially an ambient force, the reason spellcasters, whether they be strong in it like I can, or not so strong in it like myself, or strong in it like Tetra were, depends on their connection to it and how good they are at enforcing the will to bend it. For me, I get a small portion needed of my benefactor's powers. For Tetra, she got a larger portion because, well,
That
the
thing.
people who were using her as a tool needed her to have more. Hankin seems to be one of the people who's more naturally talented in it, but not necessarily naturally gifted in it.
Well,
if that makes sense.
how I was always taught was it was more of like this this wave of energy that kind of courses through people. That was from
This-
some cult.
Well, you're
I
also like
didn't listen to him very
400.
often.
You're also like 400 years old, right?
Lily spits out her tea. You're what?
All
Yeah,
right. So
I'd have say.
hold up, Lily.
Well,
The cat man in front of you is Lucas. Well, the body is Lucas's. The person speaking is Hankin. Hankin
cat.
and Lucas.
The cat.
Hankus and Lucas had a symbiotic relationship with a ghost possessing Lucas, but giving Lucas access to his magical prowess. And Hankin getting to be able to do whatever it is Hankin gets out of the relationship.
A body.
You can literally watch Lily's face slowly merge into that what the actual fuck have I gotten myself into kind of expression. And just from under the table just pulls out a
Chip?
flask and starts chugging.
What has she gotten herself into? The ship, dumbass.
This man here's got magic chains in his arms and has no memory. He's got a neat book though. I kind of like those party tricks that have hidden messages in them. And then I don't know what's with his woman's deal. And then we just had
She's a Christian.
she's a fucking what now?
She's a Christian.
That's what I
She's-
thought you said.
She's whatever the hell that is.
Lucas.
One of the few individuals
I have-
born with a natural innate. Their blood is literally a magnet for the arcane weave, as you like to refer to it as, judging that I've read from said cult's writings. Interesting take on it, but that's besides the point.
No.
Her
You
blood
never
has
said it was a weave.
magic in it.
She's one of the few people born with the ability to manipulate what the well excretes. Many people have to learn to
Naturally.
work with. Most people have to learn how to work with it or around it. She's born with that power.
Well, people do eventually learn how to manipulate it, but she can do that from the day she was born.
Correct.
How the fuck old is she? Because that war started close to
2
the
years
time
old.
when the first Grimbot died.
Last I checked, she said she was fairly young.
For a fucking elf, Nisha. They live upwards of millennium.
Knife ears.
I'm not sure whether that was Lucas or Hankin, but we're gonna ignore that right now. Victoria points to her own pointed ears
Well, either way,
before.
from what I understand, the day that all went down, she was a handful of days old in the infirmaries. That's why she's one of the few last left.
Do you know how much money we could make from turning her over to the god? I'm not saying we do, but do you know how much we could? Because I hate Drakich's bitches too. But money.
But you do realize they would not only just kill her, but that would, point blank period, make it so that the mortal plane is at the underworld god's bidding.
Yeah, that's why I'm not saying we do. I like the idea of him being gone more than I like the idea of money. Actually, My lifestyle is not really affected either way.
What?
I'm
Either
from,
way.
First up, I'm from way up north where his men don't have very much forces. Second up, I'm from a well-off family and I spent most of my time just fucking around in a library being a bum with no magic until 4 years ago. Third off, the time I didn't spend bumming around libraries with no magic, I spent with my two partners, Lucas and Hank. That doesn't really change whether or not Drakic's armies are fucking over the rest of the world or not. I personally am not too affected by what happens. I'm not saying the rest of the world is not. I'm just saying, once I get my soul back, I'm pretty sure I lose my magic. Second off, I just go back to bumming around libraries once we're done and being bored, because it's the only kind of entertainment I am really able to do where I am from. Unless I want to go see one of the like 5 plagues that maybe one of us half interested. And don't get me started on any orcish operas. If we're talking a symphony, but that happens like maybe once or twice a year, because otherwise orcish big band music is just kind of boring. It's mostly percussion and not the fun kind of percussion, just a lot of drum. Not even good drums, like snare or timpani or bass. Almost exclusively old style tribal drums, which is boring as fuck. Also, orcish throat singing is not a pleasant sound to listen to. Anyways, moving on.
Well,
Yeah,
the
that's
comment you made
the life
earlier.
of being a noble from a family of noble magicians who, isn't a magician. Like, I naturally have the opposite of what she has. I have no magic. Fucking sucks. Anyway, sorry. Actually moving on now.
She's born with the power to manipulate the weave. Long story short.
Yep.
She can do it at will, but her power is very limited due to these wells being clouded.
But Lucas, could you check to see that if she were
If she were, I could try.
if her mind were manipulated, or if possibly I were dead for longer than I guess? I don't even know how we checked that one. And now I'm just
Let's deal with our own problems. If we run into that man at some point in our travels, we'll address it then.
Didn't Yorif also kind of look like Kratos?
No. He had a deep, like, gargled voice, but he's definitely orc-ish, I believe. I'd have to look back.
No, he was a Goliath. He
Okay.
was also a pale-skinned Goliath. And Goliaths as a race are based off of Kratos.
Zeus!
Or at least
Understood.
their
I'm no
current
longer making a single Goliath and removing it from my handbook.
Hell
No.
yeah.
No.
Well, no,
As
you
a
want to make
character
Kratos?
concept in 5e, they are literally... Look up the 5e Goliath from the handbook. Or actually, I'll take a picture.
Either way,
They're meant
the fact that
Take a
every
picture, it'll last
Goliath
longer.
I make is apparently Kratos is mildly infuriating.
No. I think this is just a two-time thing because you've made other Goliath characters and I didn't think that it was Kratos. I think this is genuinely just a thing that's happened twice and it's one of those weird incidents. It's like if I had a nickel for every time.
And a nickel for every time this man made Kratos.
Sean,
I have 2 nickels.
back
weird,
me up
but-
here.
No.
But okay, well fuck you too. I was gonna say back me up here, but he's made
when?
more than just 2 Goliaths, right?
Maybe.
I think there was at least one more Goliath he made, but that might have been at a time when you were gone.
Is this the part where we start kicking?
Yes. But so Pyro, in response to that message you said, no, that's
So-
not what I would like to actually be, because that's not what I wanted to do with my character. I didn't want them to find out they were suddenly 40 years older, and I don't think that's a good twist.
No, you're actually slowly catching on to what the actual problem is with this whole scenario.
Well, you said not. You said not my call.
As in, like, it's not my call if she's actually this or actually that. That was also my way of trying to hint of, no, it's not going that direction.
Okay. Good. I'm glad it didn't, because that would definitely be a discuss beforehand thing.
No, you're
Also,
actually pretty close to what is actually going on with this whole situation of what appears to be 2 or 3 different versions of herself occurring at once.
God damn it, that's too
It's a
close.
mirror image. Just a really shitty mirror image.
Okay. I have the actual official 5e picture of Goliaths from Volo's guide from when they were originally added to 5D, because I believe the author of Volo's Guide to Monsters set them up to look like Kratos. I don't know when their first official appearance is, but look at that and tell me that's not Kratos.
Yeah, Tori, I sent you an image too. It's of Goliath.
Sure, that's just actually Kratos.
Yeah, these are like the fucking markings I was trying to describe on the fucking thing over at the Stable Master.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. Yeah, I get what
know,
you mean.
but when I picture
Tribal
a
pit too.
default,
It was a hit.
I do apologize, but when I picture a default Goliath, I picture Kratos because he's their model.
Alright.
Damn, does that mean that every single Goliath killed their family?
No. I'm trying to see when they actually were first added to D&D. If it's 5e, they're just straight. They were first added in 3e. When did 3e release? Okay. So in 4E, racially, they kind of look a little bit more like orcs, but pale white and tribal tattoos. 4E is when they first started to look like Kratos. 5E Kratos. 5ER is when they stop actually looking like off-brand Kratos. Because now they have from yellow, gray, green gray, dark gray, purple, blue gray skin colors in 5ER. It's the only reason we're looking this up. It's just because I swear to God, it's not a thing that you're doing wrong. It's just you happen to be making like the most standard Goliath of the two editions where they were a lot bigger than they were. Or two editions where they became more like Kratos. And it just so happens to be my mental image of a default Goliath. Because in 4E they were turned into Kratos. Is just Kratos. But so... Also, can we call this here because it's late and I need to shower because I have work at 5?
Okay. 2.5 hour session.
Yeah, but we're gonna do a longer one on Tuesday.
Filler session. That's what today was.
No, we're tactically moving at a very slow pace to get to one
It's not
position.
filler. 1, we advanced the plot. 2, we had another subplot device happen. That got focused on because most of the plot advances now via the DMPCs. And one of the players happened to hyperfixate on this thing that was a really weird thing for a second. Originally, I had just ignored the stuff with Yerriff because, you know, we did not discuss backstory that in depth at that point. So I was just like, okay, probably was just making up stuff. Sometime we'll have to sit down and talk so we can figure out how deep things go.
There is something that I don't know if I've mentioned in the past, but certain interactions and certain things should definitely be taken note of. Yolrith being one of them, as you can now tell.
Well, I'll have to go back and find Yorif's episode.
And definitely
I'm
make
trying to
notes of certain stuff, yeah.
Well, yeah, I'll probably just put them into the player notes area. Because I'm trying to use that more since we made it and I just remembered it was there. But I'm going to head out and I'm going to go shower.
Okay.
Oh, no.